Hey, good Wednesday morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Day 3, as we touch on the nature of Christ, these different traits of Christ that we've touched on the past 2 days. And today we're going to talk about how Jesus became flesh and what that means to us as far as the grace and truth that is provided through his sacrifice. We're going to go to John chapter 1. We're staying in John chapter 1 mostly this week, I would say. Chapter 1, verse 14, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. He dwelt among men. Remember that. Jesus came, God became flesh in Jesus and dwelt among men. We have seen his glory. This is John speaking, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John is speaking on behalf of the disciples and those who saw Christ. Not only those who saw Christ come to earth and walked with him, but those who saw Christ die on the cross and on the third day rise again. They saw that empty tomb. They witnessed Jesus. They witnessed Jesus in the upper room and the pierced hands and the pierced feet and the wounds. They witnessed that. So they testified on that, saying that we have seen the living Christ. What does this mean for us when it comes to the nature of Christ? I think it means right there. I wrote this down. God took on human form in Jesus, as I spoke about. Jesus doing this offered us salvation through the cross. It offered us reconciliation to the Father, because you know in the old times they were having to sacrifice all these different sacrifices every time. And Jesus said, I'm going to come. God said, I'm going to send my Son so that he can die on the cross. And once and for all, that slate is wiped clean. You have salvation and reconciliation in Jesus Christ through the cross, through his blood shed. And I put revelation, a revelation of God's love for us. What does that look like? It looks like God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. How much does he love you for him to give his Son over to die, to be murdered on the cross? That's the nature of Jesus. He came in the flesh so that we could have this salvation, reconciliation, and this revelation of God's love. And I wrote this down. This is why we must feed on his word. The Bible is our bread, our life source. And when Jesus came into this earth and he became flesh and dwelt among us, he was saying, feed on me. As he broke that bread and poured that wine at the Last Supper, he reminded his disciples of what he had to do. He was going to go away so that he could send us an advocate. The nature of Jesus lies on his love and compassion. The nature of Jesus points us to God's love, ultimately showing us that no matter what we've done, we have this opportunity to come before the Savior and offer it all to him and just drop it all at his feet and say, take this, Father. I've sinned before you, but I know you love me and I know you're my Savior. That's the nature of Jesus. His flesh symbolizes the love he has for mankind. I hope this is understandable this week. It's a challenging one for me, but it's really cool to sit back and just think about how much Christ loves me and how much Christ loves you. So anyway, guys, have a blessed Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow. We got 2 more days. I love you. Talk to you soon.